Hey everyone, welcome to Social Studies. We are completing World War II today with a review. A couple days ago we talked about VE Day, which was Victory in Europe Day. Yesterday we talked about VJ Day, which was Victory in Japan Day. And how did we get victory in Japan again? Do you remember? That is correct, with the decision to drop the atomic bomb. It was a decision that would have a lot of consequences for a very long time. And Japan to this day probably still has some of the long-term health effects from the radiation of the bombs that were dropped. However, it did bring a very quick end to the war and did not cost any American lives. So today we are going to be finishing up World War II with a Golden Study Sheet review. And to do this, we're actually going to ask you to take out some paper today. And so what we want you to do is on a loose leaf sheet of paper, work and define terms 1 through 22 on that loose leaf sheet of paper. Answer the questions in part 2 also on the loose leaf sheet of paper. And then for part 3, if you look, it says you must be able to locate all of these on a map. The reason we say that is because your test will have some map places. So part 3, if you actually look down here, we changed it a little bit to just kind of ask you some questions. All right, so you're going to answer the questions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 1 says, what country does each letter on the map represent? Just in case you're stuck, there's a little map right below you can look at. But then also some key questions here dealing with geography. So please also answer 1 through 6 on that loose leaf sheet of paper using the map. As always, when we're doing a review, please look back so you can get the right answers. The nice thing about doing it on a loose leaf sheet of paper too is you're kind of creating a little study guide for yourself that you actually physically have with you that you won't have to go on the computer for. And then lastly, is the collective good or individual rights more important? In a complete and proper paragraph, answer the above question. And use documents from the packet to support your response. This will be the question you'll also answer on your test for the paragraph. So just kind of a practice. So today is all about practicing for your test, making sure you know all of this stuff. If you have any questions, as always, message your teachers. If you do not have loose leaf paper, you could always do this on a Google Doc. That's okay too. We do ask, though, whether you do it on a Google Doc or you do it on a loose leaf sheet of paper. If you do it on a Google Doc, share it with your teachers. If you do it on a loose leaf sheet of paper, please send a picture to your teacher of the assignment in Schoology. You can do it right through the messages. All right, keep up the great work. We know you're going to do awesome with this review because you've been working so hard this whole unit. This should be a breeze for you. We will see you again soon.